Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be back with another half-pound world coin search, and there's been some really awesome finds, and I'm excited about this one. There looks like something old right in the center, Imperator, and other good things on the outside, so we've been doing really well going through these bags recently, and I'm excited to keep doing that. Plus, I'll edit back any necessary information, but I'll pour it out, look for old coins, silver ones, new designs. That one looks like a large new design. Looks like 1918 5 franc, probably going to be World War I, but I'll also, again, edit back cool historical information. So time to get through these after we hear from our sponsor. Before we get into this grab bag, I want to thank MA Shops for sponsoring this video. Their online marketplace, mashops.com, has a great selection of ancient US and world coins, paper money, stamps, and more. They've got a really good reputation, easy to use site, and they work with trusted dealers, so it would be a mistake to not head on over there and be aware of this awesome source for coins. Hopefully you can find something for your collection there, and with that being said, thanks to them again for sponsoring it, and let's get into the grab bag. And we'll start things off with this coin, which looks like a Jordanian one from afar, forget what that is, maybe 1969, I'm not totally sure, 49, 10 fils, feasts from the Hashemite kingdom of the Jordan. Pretty worn coin, but at this stage it's also pretty old, so a good start to this hunt, and hopefully we'll continue to get some of the older stuff. And this one looks like it'll be King George V, 1917, that's towards the beginning of his reign, and the I there is probably going to mean India. So just as a reminder, Commonwealth of Australia, but could have been produced in India. Emperor of India definitely was something that the Brits emphasized, and so they would always put that on their coinage. After that, we have a 2005 Dominican Republic 25 peso coin. And a little bit of a different design from a lot of what I'm used to seeing from there. We also have a Hold S Mint 1944 San Francisco, Philippines, back when they were a Commonwealth of the Commonwealth that the states controlled. We were minting coins for them, and then one of these cool aluminum, super flashy, but very worthless 1955 1 dinar coins from Yugoslavia. Not that it's very worthless, but you can't spend it for anything these days. More aluminum here with an Italian 1952 10 lire and a 10 lepta from Greece, also in that same decade. And I'm just seeing, well, that's not aluminum, but got a 1957 Spanish 5 pesetas coin, and this is a gorgeous design, even though it's very low value as well. 1945 World War II era 1 francs, back when France took over. Speaking of World War II, I did notice that we had a Third Reich 1944 coin, so Nazi German 10 Reichspfennig, 1/10 of one of their marks. And then we also have a mix of some British coinage, and I always try to knock it out because it can be a little bit repetitive when I see it. So I'm seeing what looks like a bunch of them right here. We got 2 pence, 1 penny, 2 pence, a Canadian cent, and then maybe those will be half pennies. So exactly right, half of a new penny. Those were after they had switched over. So they went from 240 pence to 100 new pence, and this was like essentially a little bit more than an old penny. So it wasn't as worthless as it seems to look. And then, of course, another Australian one. This one from 1943, so also World War II era. But one coin that's caught my eye in the back, it kind of looks maybe silver. I'm not totally sure. Is this Arabic script coin? And maybe it's not. Now it's sort of feeling either copper, nickel, or silver. I haven't made a final judgment on it, but it looks like it's from about 1327. Not as sure of the US year, and it sort of looks Egyptian, but I'll have this fully identified regardless of if it's silver or not, as well as its value. But some pre-Euro coinage right here, 1978 100 lire from Italy. And then going over to the other side of the world, we've got some Jamaican George William Gordon, who I believe was somebody who was a political opponent, and during a little revolutionary period was actually executed by the British. And then right here is a 1 cent coin from Trinidad and Tobago, 2008. That one was the coin I had seen at the beginning. Before that, though, we have a Hungarian 1979 20 filler coin. And then after that, 100 race, 1870 or I think 1870, but 1871. Imperio do Brasil. This sort of feels copper nickel, which given a reasonably large denomination feels like it should be silver, but I've never seen this design before. I'm pretty excited about it. I think that it's a cool coin, so we'll see what it ends up as, but also interested in finding out the value of that one. And then we're back with a Mexican coin, 1979. Actually has nice eye appeal. Again, a little bit of toning, not crazy value to it, but I just like sort of appreciating a cool coin for what it is, and this is one of those. So happy with that one. After that, we have this large cent 1906 with King Edward, looks like the 7th on there, so in his nice royal crown and everything. And then moving beyond that, this one looked old and I wanted to take a look. 1925, I think it's Christian the 10th. So I always like my, my man Christian, the King of Denmark, 2 kroner here. So you got the crown, and very cool. As we move on here, this one looks like maybe is it going to be Hong Kong? It is $1961. Unfortunately, it's got all this residue on the front, and then we'll get a British 3 pence. But I'm seeing some other cool coins here. Speaking of the wartime coinage, this was one that I wanted to look at more in depth. So I know I briefly mentioned it in the first part of this video. 1918 5 franc. Maybe it's Luxembourg that made this, just with the K, or Belgium. But it's so worn. Pax Peace and it's so worn down. So what an interesting, neat find. Stad. Let's see. That says Nades et Amor. It's not giving me too many clues, but I'll have to give you a full update as to exactly what this is, because it feels like a really cool piece of history. After that, we've got a 1964 Portuguese 50 centavos. Continuing on, Romania. Wow, or Romanilor. I'm not sure. A Lavrier, maybe it's Monaco. No, it's 20 lei from 1930 from Romania. I've never seen that design before. Or maybe it's Albania. I think it's Romania. So cool to have that. And Lavrier, I think, did some work on the French coinage as well. So good to get a nice mix. And we see a very cool 83.5% Venezuelan silver coin from 1929. I think it should be a full bolivar. And that's got to have some decent value to it. So really keeping on rolling through this hunt. We've got some very select cool coins that I'm excited to do some more research on. So far, we also have one of those. There's the difference. That's a basically French puppet state ruled by the Nazis, 50 centime coin, and then a 1 yen aluminum coin from Japan. Here's a cool one. The French Polynesia, 1995, and it's going to be, let's see, a 1 franc coin, probably low exchange rate, but I'll have to confirm for you. And then we have a Filipino, 10 peso, 2010. You never want to get confused. 1993, I believe, is when they started that central bank. And then after that, we've got this Java, or Netherlands Indies, 1896, 1 cent. So talk about insane, super cool history. I don't know exactly when they split off and became their own nation. Presumably could be around World War I or World War II. But the Netherlands, the Dutch Indies, what I think are now Indonesia. And then we'll follow that up with a Japanese, probably 1 cent. Yep. I believe that these are like from the either late 1800s or very early 1900s. We'll have the info, but always cool designs on the Japanese coinage. And then more sort of just circulating French 10 centimes there. Queen Elizabeth II on this East Caribbean states, which is going to be, like a bunch of islands in North America, in the Caribbean, of course. And then after that, we've got the Ecuador, the Sucre, which 1946 here, they had a long inflationary period over about 90 years. They revalued where it's now closely tied to the dollar down in Ecuador. And it's always interesting. It's like, do you want to have more control over your monetary policy? But then sometimes it can be good for countries also to ally with the dollar. We have a Hong Kong 10 cents coin. We have 1 centavo Bartolome, I think that's Guatemala, 1986. I think he wrote some sympathetic things during the time when there was conquests and the conquistadors were taking land for Spain and territory and people, and that was sort of a challenging time in history. 1983, 500 lire from Italy with a really neat, I'm not sure who's depicted right there, but again, I like the eye appeal. I just sort of like the luster, even though it's muted. Yeah, it's just fun to appreciate different coins, even if they're just sort of cool. And that's fun for me to do. After that, we've got a 5-cent coin, 1998 from the Bahamas, 10 pesetas here. 1985, we've got Juan Carlos I. They demonetized at the end of 2021. I think COVID had them push back the time you could exchange it, which was helpful for some people. 1968 Colombia, 10 centavos right here was another one of those coins. And then lastly, we've got 4 more, including some ones that look smaller, but they could have a little punch of value. 1965, 25 cents from the Netherlands. Let's see what these are. This one's on the, I think it could be 2 Turkish coins. Yes, both even from the same year. So I didn't recognize that. I don't think I've even seen a 1 kurush or kuru coin. Also talk about inflation. That's been a place where more recently the inflationary problems have hit, though maybe it's basically all over the world. And then this is probably in the wake of one of the most famous bouts of hyperinflation, 1930. One Reichspfennig after the Weimar Republic hyperinflation from years prior. But man, we had an awesome hunt. We've got this crazy coin that's going to give me a lot of things to think about later. We've got multiple. I think that's got to be silver on the right, but I could be wrong. And then interesting coins all around, lots of pre-1800 stuff. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on some similar videos as we go through it. Plus, I'll probably be auctioning this off and selling a lot of these coins, grab bags, all that stuff. All the info's on my site. So thank you again for watching, and yeah, look forward to getting it through the next batch of coins that I hunt. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to Treasure Town, and get in touch with me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, check out my website, treasuretowncoins.com, for news and updates related to the channel and collectibles in general. Lastly, there's a link tree in the description with links to all of my other sites, as well as some affiliate links that can support the channel. But with that being said, have a great day, and I'll hope to see you on some of my videos in the future.